One last video for the night. This one is especially appropriate because it's Thanksgiving themed. And it was Ron and I's first Thanksgiving together. Picture the scene. He's 37. I've just turned 18. I have just run off with him about a month and a half previous. And we were shacking up in this little hellhole, badly converted garage apartment that still had the garage door. It was always freezing cold too. So, he had a friend named Cecilia, and Cecilia had a sister who lived up out of the Bay Area and a couple hours away, and she had a lot of cats, feral cats that she fed in the yard. But this is before TNR was really popular, so she just had like this herd of wild cats just everywhere. It just, you couldn't touch them, you couldn't pet them. But she tried to take care of them. She just couldn't afford to she couldn't catch them and fix them. She didn't know how to do any of that, so there were just cats everywhere. And she though had decided she wanted to have us over for Thanksgiving. She invited Cecilia and me and Ron. And she put me and Ron up in this little den she had with a bed. She had her, I think it was like a fold out couch or something that she had made into a bed. It was all set up. It was made. It had pillows and bedding and everything. And she had lit this beautiful fire in the fireplace, and it was just us in this little cozy den. And it was very romantic. And we got in, and we, got settled in. We went to bed, and we woke up the next day, and Ron and I was raised where the women always help with Thanksgiving prep. There's always something to do. And I said, well, what can I do to help you? No, just sit over there. And I'm like, okay. And Ron didn't like being told to sit in a corner ever, even when he was only blind. But he did, and we talked, and they had the meal and everything. And I think the ladies wanted to go shopping for like a Black Friday sale or something that was being held that night. This was like 1992. And so they left, and we're all alone. And there's this mountain of dirty dishes on this huge counter she had. And, somehow it came up in discussion with Ron and I. And Ron said, you know what? We can do the dishes. I said, that's a good idea. So he dug around under the sink, and he found one of those scrubbers, with the bristle head, and it on the stick, and the dish soap and everything. We got to work, and we washed every single dish. I mean, all of it, for food for like 8 people. Thanksgiving dinner dishes, all of it, just every single speck down to the last teaspoon. And we had it all piled up on the other side of the sink. She had this huge kitchen, from what I remember. And Patty came home, and she's like, oh, you didn't have to do that. You did all the dishes. And she was so happy for about 30 seconds. And she looks at the sink and goes, oh no, you didn't use this scrubber, did you? And Ron's like, yeah, well, of course I did. It was under the sink. She says, that's what I use for the litter box.